Good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat program. We do apologize again for the 2.5 minutes, maybe 3, delay this afternoon. But it's a great Sunday, albeit some rain here and there, but it's in beautiful and spicy Grenada. Well, today's program is going to be a very exciting one. I ask you to please stay tuned. A lot of excitement. But before we get the program going,
So, I wouldn't like on my page.
good afternoon to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat program. We do apologize for 5 minutes or so delay this afternoon, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it sorted out very soon. It's a rainy afternoon, but albeit still beautiful in Grenada, spicy Grenada. We're gonna have a very interesting program lined up for you today. So we're gonna take a moment off just to do a brief review of last week's program and get right back to you. Back in a moment.
Previously on the Heartbeat.
We want to thank all who served the National Executive Council of the National Democratic Congress and those who currently serve from the elections at the convention on October 31st, 2021. We want to thank those who served on the national campaign team. You see, Terry, we continue the business of the party while preparing A, for an election, and B, for governance of the country. The way forward continues to be party building, party strengthening the structures and institutions of the party, some amount of amendments of the party constitution to strengthen it. The Prime Minister, according to the NDC Constitution, will convene the among the committees, is a parliamentary committee convened and chaired by the Prime Minister. And that party committee of MPs will then have a critical role in grounding the policy agenda and grounding the work of the party at the constituency level.
Welcome back to all our listeners and viewers of the NDC Heartbeat program, and welcome to all of you who are on Vibes FM, WeFM, and Spice Capital Radio. Also, those of you who are online on the NDC Facebook page, we welcome you to the Heartbeat. Okay, we're going to get the show on the road right away. There's been a bit of delay already, which we do apologize for. With me today, it's a very special Grenadian. He can be considered a local engineer in his own rights. I introduce to you no other person than Mr. Leonard Maxson, better or locally known as the Cane Juice Man, a very interesting individual indeed. From humble beginnings, but to great heights. I introduce to you Leonard Maxson. Welcome to Heartbeat.
Thank you very much, Terry. And pleasant good afternoon to all Grenada and the rest of the Caribbean and the entire planet.
Great, wonderful indeed. You continue to make progress in Grenada in the agro-processing field. And as a matter of fact, I was encouraged to make contact with you by the Honorable Senator, or Senator the Honorable Adrian Persuader Thomas, because his passion and interest is in agribusiness, agro-processing, and the entire agriculture sector. So he says, Terry, I know you all know of Mr. Maxson. Get hold of him. Let's talk with him, because he wants to ensure that you play a vital role in the resuscitation of agro-processing in Grenada. So tell me, you started off with the cane juice machine, and now you're on to greater machines which can do wonders. Tell us what inspired you, first of all, to get into that industry.
First of all, I want to say thanks very much to Mr. The Honorable Adrian
Persuader Thomas.
Persuader Thomas. Thank you for having that confidence in me. Actually, agro industry is my baby. Mm-hmm. Let's put it like this, Clay. Since a little boy growing up, I do a lot of farming, livestock, and all them things. My grandparents had cane, and it's something I always liked. So I had a lot of passion for that kind of business. So it wasn't difficult as a young child growing up, practicing to do things, making my own toys, you know, all the different things that a child grew up with, actually do all of them. Mm-hmm. So it was fairly easy to have that kind of ability and that knowledge to bring myself to that part of the agro industry. It was fairly easy for me. In fact, I sleep it and I live it every day.
Wonderful, wonderful. Because the cane juice machine, you produced it yourself.
Every single part of it. I design it in the brain, I bring it out to reality. I go to the US, I buy all the raw materials, I came back here, I cut it in the local workshops, and I put it together, and this is what the result of.
Now, did you have any engineering training as a youngster?
I would say not from the man-made. I got my engineering skills from the Creator, the great Jehovah God.
So actually, it's a God-given gift.
That's right. I will put it straight into the hands of the Lord.
Absolutely, sir, indeed. Give him all praise and glory.
All praise and glory to that one.
Wonderful. And now you have basically advanced in that field to now you had produced a machine that can now do wonders to our fruits and vegetables and so forth.
Almost.
Tell us something about this. And while we're doing this, I'm going to show those who are on Facebook the operations, basically, of this wonderful machine. But you tell us all about it. And mind you, the minister is also tuned in. He's going to be joining us later on at about 12:30 in the program. So anyhow, you proceed as to how this machine functions.
Well, from the day I built the cane juice machine, actually, I built many other machines along with the cane juice machine in terms of helping the agro industry. One of those was the pulping machine. I did that one 12 to 14 years ago, average. And that machine was one of my baby in all the inventions.
Oh.
Now, I do a number of pieces, including designing drills. Yeah. And Mr. Jerry Hopkins can testify to the drill I design. But nevertheless, let's stick to the pulping machine business. I designed that pulping machine based on the golden apples. I really designed it to pulp the golden apples because I saw a business in it, seeing the wastage in that area. And knowing the skills I have personally and the ability I have in designing machine, I mean, I could design a machine in a few seconds.
Wow.
Is that brilliantness in me actually
God-given
capable of
gift.
doing that, yes. So the night I saw my wife trying to do some golden apples in a blender, and you keep the first blender bun, and the second one we have to take your time with it. I said, listen, you burning blenders, I could build a machine for that.
Wow.
And I
Just
went
like
off the
that.
next morning and I started building the machine. And within 2 days, I was very successful with minor incident in terms of minor fault, I should say. The motor actually was receiving some of the juice when after I pulped the machine, after I pulped the golden apples. And that was an easy solve because I saw the problem. The second problem is that the stuff wasn't coming out properly. So I had to think about that one a little bit. Within 2 nights, I solved that problem. I went back to the shop and I fixed that problem. But I had the other problem to fix, like the motor and other things, to make a slightly adjustment. And within 2 years, I built the state-of-the-art pulping machine, which could pulp almost everything that we have in Grenada.
Wow. Fruits,
Yes.
vegetables, you name it.
Everything, name it. This machine can actually
Coconut,
do it.
everything.
Cassava, coconut, golden apples, mangoes, cherries, seasoning, animal feed. I mean, just name it. This machine capable of doing it. And the beauty of it, one of the most difficult fruit to handle is the golden apple.
Yeah, I know.
And I could pulp roughly 400 to 500 pounds within an hour without damaging the seeds. So if you put in 20 golden apples inside it, you're going to get 20 seeds back out.
Wow.
Without 1 ounce of pulp on the seed, even getting some of the little sprangs on the golden apple.
This is amazing.
It's one of the greatest invention I ever, capable of doing. And I was surprised of myself in many areas with that particular invention.
Wow. How long ago was this machine invented by you?
Well, somewhere within 2008, 2007, somewhere around there, I invented that. I didn't take a proper date on it, but maybe I have it home in one of my documents. Maybe I have it there. I want to believe because I did a mail back to myself as to protect it in some form. So I may have it somewhere.
So it's several years now this
Yes,
machine
yes.
has
But I've been testing that machine to make sure you have the ability to match anything else on the planet.
Right.
And that was one of the reason I didn't sell any of those machines. In fact, the first time that machine show on national television, the first version of it, I remember the people in Byron Run come to me and asked me to sell them one of those machines. But I couldn't sell it at that time. It was very early in the stage, and I wanted to make sure that machine capable of what I think he's supposed to do.
Okay, so you've had little upgrades and adjustments.
Yeah, well, it was minor upgrades because the actual design was so perfect that I didn't have to do much. Now I have the perfect design. This machine just walk. And the beauty of it, you could pulp the things without water. So you don't have to add no water. Pulp it and give it the goods 100%.
What about the certification, the health certification in the pulping process?
Right. That is key. In fact, all my equipment, all the equipment that are designed for food, they design with 316 grade stainless steel or 304. 316 grade stainless steel is one of the highest quality of stainless steel you can find anywhere on the planet. In fact, some people call it surgical stainless steel because you can use that to put in your bones if you have broken bones and things like that.
Right.
The 304 stainless steel, you could use that on tables, surface and walls and things. So it's really good, or containers and things like that. But everything inside that particular machine is 316 grade stainless steel. It's the highest quality they produce on the planet. I use that material. I bought it out of the States and I bring it here, I cut and I fit.
All right. You did indicate to me in our earlier conversation 2 weeks ago that you had assistance from someone who is your draftsman.
Yes.
You want to tell us about this draftsman?
Yes. I don't want to call his name in the past, but I can call his name now.
Okay, all right.
He work at Nawasa.
Uh-huh.
A very good friend of mine's. Over 15 years now, we are good friends. His name is Oliver Francis from St. David's.
Ah, I know him. Yes. I know the guy.
This guy is
Wow.
is a marvelous guy in joints. I mean, I don't want to show the joints because it's still private and I have to control it.
Confidential, yes.
But this guy do a state-of-the-art joints for me. Actually, the success of the joints was most likely simple for him in the case because the machine already built. So I scrap it down and we went through every little detail of the invention.
Wow.
And we do the joints of that piece of equipment.
That is fantastic.
And we did some other joints also in terms of the same smart tool that I designed the drill, which is a drill actually can drill 2 holes one time. It can drill hole coming back to you, hole in the same direction. So you can remove the bit from this side and put it on the opposite side.
Wow.
Yeah, and it can make pipe threads and soft material, copper, aluminum, plastic, and things like that. It can polish a pipe in and out. Yeah, it can work as a saw. It can work as a sander.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
that's amazing.
That drill, I mean, it could do the job of 10 different tools on the market, and it can work as a hacksaw also.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a marvelous piece of invention. I want to believe, well, I didn't get a patent, full patent on it. I got a provisional patent on it. Mr. Jerry Hopkins.
Yeah.
He was one of them who assisted me
Assisting you in
New York
Uh-huh.
to get a patent actually, but we didn't complete the patent fully because the cost. But that drill could be a game changer on the planet because I use 2 types of drive to it, the belt and the gear mechanism, which is like a plastic gear system, you know, so it'll be very silent. And that drill is an amazing piece of tool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is no wonder the minister was so insistent that you come onto this program, because here it is, you talking about stuff which is almost foreign to a lot of the listeners of this program, and to know that there is such a young Grenadian who has such great talent that can revolutionize the agriculture industry, that can be a great game changer for so many persons who are unemployed. This is great. This is great. We are indeed starting the process of transformation and moving forward.
In fact, I have other type of pulping machine I can build. In fact, just recently, I've been developing, in the brain though, a new machine to extract the seed from tamarind and salsa. And I believe I captured that already because I did a big one already. Wow. And it works, but it didn't work perfectly. So I went back into the brain, I should put it that way, and I come up with a new idea and a new way, which I can do horizontal, vertical. So I'll bring it out horizontal, and I'll feed it vertical.
Wow.
And I'll put I could give you the ideas of it, but no one will be able to build it because they know how the blades were designed for it.
It's in your brain.
It's in my brain. So I'll set a mesh underneath. So at that high revolution, at that high pace, RPM, the juice will keep coming out. You may have to add a little water to it because of the nature of the seeds of the salsa and the tamarind. Yeah. But at high revolution, you have to prevent damaging the seed, and you have to also get the pulp out in solid form so that it won't be too thin.
Right.
So it must be a machine to do the job of removing the seeds without much water added.
Wow, I know how difficult.
And I believe I captured that already because I actually could see the working ability of that machine, feeding it vertical and extracting it horizontal with a filter underneath, vertical also underneath the system. So the motors and whatnot on the other side, and this thing would be one way. Also, intend to develop for the cassava, which is actually the machine can do it, but it'll burn it as a slush. So what I need to do with the pulpit machine presently, slight changes onto the same system, you could do it, and you can use with the same design I actually am speaking about. And you can use a gear reduction just to slow the speed of the high RPM that I carry presently for golden apples and whatnot. So it will reduce the slushy look and give it a coconut finish.
Wow.
So that you can extract and do firing. And my idea about the firing industry is that, I'll call it the cassava industry, is that Grenada could be self-sufficient in that area, in food in that particular area. We can start planting cassava as cane field.
Yep,
And,
I agree.
And be self-sufficient in food for our nation and sell to the other Caribbean islands, because we're not selling the technology to them.
Right.
But sell the other Caribbean islands, and also sell to the US in 50-pound bags, sack. We have the chemists and in Grenada, young chemists, and they could do the job, I believe. So I believe we should get on that track and start manufacturing that food security in that particular area, which is key because firing is a satisfying food.
Absolutely.
And
Very
we could do a lot
nutritious.
more with that, yes.
Very nutritious.
We could really, really expand that side of things. And there's many other areas I look at in the thing. The golden apples, we could do the green ones for the juices. Most people like the green juice. Most people like it boil and have a little jam. So we can package that because the machine capable of extracting the ripe ones without the set of particles in it. So you can actually eat with a spoon. So you can heat it up, put it in a glass jar and sell it all over the world, things like that. So there's a lot of opportunities with that pulping machine, as far as I'm concerned, that we haven't touched on yet. In terms of animal feed, all the old golden apples, mangoes, and breadfruit and all them things, we can make animal feed with that. We can come back and we can utilize the sweet potatoes for the people who want to do the sweet potato. No, not the chips, but the pudding. Here they could have that. So because there's a lot of different things.
So there is a full array of products that can be derived
Including
from
seasoning.
just this one machine.
Including seasoning, bottle seasoning and all of that.
So why hasn't this gotten off the ground a few years ago?
Well, I don't want to talk about it too much in that area, but it should have. But like how you come to me,
Yeah.
no one had come to me in the past.
Wow.
Like that.
Wow.
And like how Mr. Jerry Hopkins approached me,
Yeah.
no one had come to me.
Well,
like that in the
I
past.
came on instructions from the minister. So he obviously knows about you.
Okay.
So I just basically followed through.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of you being a local Grenadian who has created wonders in this field. All of Grenada should know about Leonard Maxson and what he has done for the industry. And indeed, there is just a new wave of opportunities coming very soon in this particular agro-processing industry. I know the minister wants to, be online shortly to not just congratulate you, but to talk about his vision for the ministry and what can be done with the machines that you have, engineered.
Yeah. And just before the minister comment into that, I also want to make the Grenadian public aware that I'm capable of building a machine for cleaning the cassava. So the days of going through scraping it with a knife and all of that, that days are easily passed.
Wow.
Yeah, a lenka cassava could clean in a few seconds, including the spices.
Fantastic.
The
Fantastic.
small branches, the big branches, all of that can happen.
Wow, this sounds magical.
So
Yes. So
Also-
we're going to try to get the Honorable Minister on the line.
I also look at the advantage of marketing both space. I need to talk about that.
Yes.
In the River Road area, I personally went inside there one time to buy some sugar. And I saw the big space and I said, wow, this is such a nice place. I could put about 30 machines inside there.
Yes, it is indeed.
And that space with all these cooler freezers they have, you could turn some of them into freezers itself and have chillers. And here comes 100, 200 people could be employed easily inside that place.
Yeah,
And over 20,000 people could employ outside of that.
absolutely, so indeed. And many, many more. But before we continue, we're going to go just on a short break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the NDC Heartbeat program. Those of you listening on WeFM, Vibes FM, Spice Capital Radio, who are on the NDC online platform, we welcome you to this very interesting Heartbeat program today. It's almost investigative in a very nice way. And I'm chatting, my guest today is Mr. Leonard Maxson, who has designed, built, engineered machines that can revolutionize our agriculture, agri-processing businesses. And we have, I believe, on the line now, Senator, the Honorable Adrian Persuader Thomas, Minister responsible for agriculture and other departments. Minister, are you online right now? All right, probably he's going to be there shortly. But Brother Maxson, tell us, besides the God-given intellect that you were gifted with, was there any training in machine production or anything of that sort?
Not directly in the machine production, but in auto mechanic.
Auto mechanics.
Yeah, I had some experience in that in the motorcycles and in vehicles in general. I did some of them here as a little boy, and I went to Trinidad as a young boy, 15, 16 years old, and I did some across there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So what would be a message you want to send to young entrepreneurs in Grenada and maybe in the region? What kind of message you want to share with them?
Every man have the gift, and
Yeah.
they could develop the gift. Some people have gift and they're not aware of that, so they need to explore that. And in terms of letting their mind carry them to the way they think in development side of it. So you may have a vision, and you're not recognizing because you never challenge the vision you have. So you need to start doing that, and you'll find a lot of success in those areas. For instance, I had mines, and if I never went into it and discover, I would not be here today.
That's a great point for us to now introduce Senator, the Honorable Adrian Persuader Thomas. Welcome to Heartbeat once again.
Good morning, Terry. It's a pleasure to be on your Heartbeat program one more time.
Great.
Good morning to the listening public in Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, and the wider diaspora.
Great.
And pleasant day to Mr. Mopson.
Thank you.
Well. I have found the man for you. You said you wanted someone who can help revolutionize the agriculture, agri-processing, and I believe we have found the right man.
Well, Terry, I mean, I have admired this guy for many years. Maybe I know him as long as I know Wall Street in regards to cane juice, production of cane juice, and it's always a pleasure to have people in your surrounding who are thinking alike and has the same mindset in regards to where we want to take agriculture in terms of revolutionizing it. So it's a pleasure, Terry, and I must commend you for taking up the task that I've given to you.
Well,
much appreciated.
What can I say? I am a worker and soldier for the advancement and transformation of Grenada. Minister, I know that you have a passion for agriculture, not just now, but way back when. And I know that you have only been on the job just maybe, 2 weeks, thereabout, 10 days?
Just 2 weeks, just 10 days.
Just about 10 days. And within those 10 days, I know that you have been doing quite a lot. Do you want to just share with us, first of all, your passion and what has been happening in your ministry and what are your thoughts for moving forward that particular very important industry?
Well, yes, Terry. My passion for agriculture stemmed way back when, maybe from the time I started secondary school. And we had a small plot of land where we used to do some practice for agricultural subject in regards to getting involved in doing that in preparation for that subject in CXC. And Mr. Wilton Blaisdell exposed us to, and Sister Mary Paul exposed us to getting into the practical aspect of it. They bought small boots for us, they bought some cutlasses, forks, and the tools in those days. And we produced the kind of production we were doing at Terry. It was amazing. However, to cut a long story short, I completed St. David's Secondary School. passing that subject with flying colors, and I went on to teach at the St. David's RC school where, although I was teaching the common entrance class in those days, the principal asked me if I can extend a hand to the school living class to teach agriculture. And there I am coming from a home where out of 9 people living in the house, nobody had a formal job, but all of us was involved in agriculture some way or the other. And like in primary school, on Fridays was a no-no for me because I had to go to the land to do my share of work and to also to prepare the produce to take to the market. So coming up at that stage in my life, that the love for agriculture and seeing the benefits that my grandmother could have gone to the market with bags of produce and come back with all her necessities and all her cash to even to save something, I thought maybe this was the way to go. So I left teaching just for 2 years and I went on to ECAF in Trinidad where I studied agriculture, and I came back to Grenada and was offered a job in the Ministry of Agriculture, and the rest is history. Within the Ministry of Agriculture, I played a significant role in the control of the pink millibug, the control of the locust, control of the mango seed weevil. As at one point in time, I was managing the insectary, and that's the place where we're producing and multiplying insects like crazy in order to control the pink millibug. And when I joined the National Democratic Congress, Terry, Comrade Nazenberg asked me if I would like to speak on agriculture. Well, I don't think he could have choose a better subject for me. So this was up my alley. And I for the last 10 years, I've been speaking on that subject for the National Democratic Congress. And here I am today when the political leader asked me if I will be willing to serve in that particular area. And I wholeheartedly accepted that. So that is where my passion is concerned, Terry. Now, being on the job for 10 days in the Ministry of Agriculture, the first thing that I wanted to know is to look at the transition report, the exit report, and in some instances. And what I saw in the Ministry of Agriculture, I knew it was serious business. It was serious work, and I came to the conclusion that we need all hands on deck if we want to really revolutionize the agricultural sector, revamp the Ministry of Agriculture, and many other institutions that are related to that. And therefore, I got down to business. Terry, for the last 10 days, I have been going. I leave the ministry about 7 on a daily basis. I'm trying to get my foot wet, and it has been a very good experience. The ministry has a lot of work to do. Out of the management team that's supposed to be in the Ministry of Agriculture, we have 7 vacant positions in those areas. So the leadership in the Ministry of Agriculture has been damaged over the years. And I'm making that point not because of the people as Grenadians not wanting to go forward in agriculture, but I don't think that this was a priority on the last administration. And therefore, a lot of what we have in the ministry is a lot of vacant positions, a lot of temporary workers, a lot of people on contract, maybe some of them looking for a job. And once there is a job, the fact that you're on contract, it means that every day could be a last day. And people might be looking for an alternative to get some form of security. So we have a lot of work to do in that respect. I've pulled in a couple of people to advise me in terms of going forward. They are going to work on coming up with ways and means of improving the Ministry of Agriculture as an institution. Carriacou is high on the agenda. Within my first 10 days, I make sure that I went up to Carriacou very early to engage the people in Carriacou and let them know that they have a role to play in the development of that sector. And they are very, very enthusiastic. Well, Tevin in particular, as the Minister for Carriacou Affairs, he welcomed that visit. I met with some of the workers there. I met with a couple of farmers, and they are very, very enthusiastic about rejuvenating themselves in the agricultural sector. So here we are today, and Mr. Mopson has a significant role to play. And I pray God that we have many more Mopsons developing in Grenada, because we're going to create the enabling environment, we're going to create the conditions to encourage people of that nature in terms of going forward with agriculture and moving Grenada forward.
Great. Well, thank you so very much indeed, Minister. The fact of the matter is that Mr. Maxson, he is ready to hit the ground running. And I am so thrilled. I've seen the machine in operation myself, and I'm absolutely thrilled that this can be a great game changer overnight. Thousands of persons can be employed in that sector. I have always visualized the sides of our roads can be planted with something that can bring a return, be it cassava or be it aloes. Once we cut the grass, we plant something, we reap it, process, ship. That means hundreds or thousands of jobs can be developed and derived from just this one initiative. From every telephone pole, which is about 100 feet, someone can have a contract to plant something on the side of the road, which keeps the grass down.
That's right.
And they sell it to the factory, get their money,
That's right.
production starts 24/7. We can revolutionize and kill unemployment within a short space of time
Definitely.
with just the vision of the political leader, Prime Minister, and his team, transforming this country, moving it forward. And I see Brother Maxson playing a great role in this initiative. But we were chatting about your idea, your vision for the young people, for those who have interest in agro-processing. What would be your message?
Well, before giving the actual message, lots of people in Grenada, personally, I hear them every day saying young people don't want to work. I don't believe that. If you create the avenues, you will see them work. In fact, I seen young people live in college, and I didn't win college. I seen young people went to college, coming out with so many subjects, and they're holding a fork, a cutlass, or a broom. That ain't say that it's not good to do. The point I'm making is that if they're willing to do that with all the subject, could you imagine if they get land and we have a factory and we intend to cultivate and they could make their own decision how much money they want in their pocket? Could you imagine
That is true.
how much people will rush to that land?
Mm-hmm.
Within
right.
2 years, you will not have any land for anybody again in Grenada. People will just rush to that land. We'll have to ask St. Vincent to cultivate.
We may have to ask St. Vincent for labor also, too.
That's right.
But before you continue, I don't want to hold the minister and Julie. I know he has another engagement. Minister, are you there?
Yes, I'm here listening.
All right. I would just like to ask, because I know you have other engagement. You're a busy minister indeed. And just like to ask you if you have any closing remarks which you'd like to make at this time before you rush off.
But Terry, my vision in agriculture is the national democratic vision in agriculture, and the issue on agro-processing and agribusiness, it will be key in going forward. I really want to bring the nation's minds on the whole thinking agriculture big, not just about the cutlass and fork, but think agriculture from the piece of cane, what we call cuttings, that you plant, to the cane juice properly packaged and ready to hit not only the market in Grenada, but the regional market and the international market. So once we start to think on that line, the one machine that, the cane juice machine that is being operated on Wall Street by Mr. Maxson, we will want to see thousands of machines of that nature throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And obviously, if we have so many machines, the level of production, the investments that the people put in the production of cane juice and the production of other products involving our fruits and so on will be far too much for the local people to consume. And therefore, we will be well poised to explore the regional market and the international market. And when we kick out in that manner, it means that other areas in terms of providing transport to take these products out of Grenada will become an issue. Whereby we no longer maybe have to beg Amerijet or beg another airline to carry our products. But if we have vessels that are designed and can accommodate, have the necessary storage facilities, refrigerators that could take our products fresh to Antigua and Barbados and other Caribbean countries, then I think Grenada is really poised. And we can, as a nation, we can invest much more money in the productive sector. So in going forward, we have to pay close attention to from the seed to the package, from the tomato seed to the package of ketchup to the final consumer. And the government has a responsibility to encourage industries of that nature. We have a responsibility to create the kind of incentives in going forward. And I know for a fact that the nation, the Grenadian people, based on what they have said to us in our campaign, they have a desire, a burning desire, to see that agriculture move from the ground to the sky. And the National Democratic Congress, no doubt, as a government, as a party that listens to the people, will move in that direction to ensure that we wipe out poverty and we bring prosperity to the nation once and for all. Thank you very much, Terry, and have a pleasant evening. It was nice talking to you, and I wish Mr. Mopson all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. This was the Minister, Honourable Senator, the Honourable Adrian Persuader Thomas, joining us on Heartbeat today to talk about agriculture, the way forward, and his whole idea of eradicating poverty, eradicating unemployment through the initiatives of yourself and several other Grenadians. We're going to open up the lines now, 423-7595, for those of you who wish to make a contribution or to chat with my guest, Leonard Maxson, who has really quite a great opportunity ahead of him in helping to turn around this economy and to make agribusiness a great reality in Grenada. This is one of the pillars of Grenada's economy. So, 423-7595. So, Brother Maxson, we were chatting about the whole notion of getting our young people excited again in agriculture and helping to put monies in their pockets. And as the Minister indicated with respect to the regional and international markets, what would it take to, for example, have products that you produce right now on the New York market? Just to mention one.
In my view, is to set up the factory first. Get the chemists on board, and we could start in that area almost instantly, because a machine will not take me long to build, the pulping machine. Once I have the raw material, I'll be loose pulping machine within a week or two once I have all the material together.
But you have an existing one now.
Yes, I have an existing
But you're
one.
saying new ones.
Yes, because
once
you intend to get things out on the market, you need more.
Oh, yeah.
Because this
Serious
is just
production.
my prototype at home, and I set up a factory at home just of an idea of what really had to take place. So I did most of the things I would like to work on and for the future.
Yep, absolutely so indeed. So,
as you have an old saying, some people, and I like to use that, some people do surgery on a cow to get small things. But I like to do surgery on a red ants to get big things.
red ants. How are you going to start doing that?
And survive.
It just shows of the quality and nature of the individual who is willing to delve into the difficult areas of production. Interesting indeed. 423-7595 if you wish to call and make a contribution, or just congratulate Mr. Maxson on his great abilities and what he can do and assist with respect to the agri-industry in Grenada. You are saying that this pulping machine can deal with just about any fruit, any vegetable in Grenada.
Yes, you can make.
Is there a difficult one? Is there any one fruit or vegetable in Grenada that you see as a difficult one to process?
The most difficult in all the things I see in presently in fruits is the soursop and the tamarind. And that's the last two left on my calendar.
Wow, so you have mastered all the others.
Everything is. In fact, that pulping machine could grind even meat and all. So that's you can make animal feed, you can make tomato ketchup and the different various type. You can do cassava, you can do golden apples, mangoes, cherry, guava, carrot. I mean, just name it. Sweet potatoes. Just name it and you can do it. All the seasoning, the different grades of seasoning, you can do it.
Fantastic. I think you're going to be a very busy man very soon. and the Grenadian people will thank you for it. Now, there's another area indeed of production, animal husbandry. And interestingly, I saw a packet of short rib lamb in the supermarket, and I could not believe the price on it. I don't know if we have it on the screen for those who are on Facebook. The thing costs $259 for a packet of short rib. Why, on heaven's name, can't we be a main producer of lamb in Grenada? Okay, granted, we have the dry season, but surely we can pump water from the rivers and irrigate these pastures to have green grass year-round and have serious production of meat.
Yes, definitely.
Be a serious exporter once again. And these are the things that the National Democratic Congress Party manifesto speaks to. There ought to be no impediments in the way. It's just a matter of will and the ability for people to embrace the progress that will be coming forth. All this is all part of agriculture.
Yes, yes. So all the bushes aside the road, we should use it.
Yep. Send it to the farm so the cows and the sheep and the goats can eat that grass. Why dump it?
If you have a squad in the Tempe area, utilize all the bushes from the side of the road. You have a squad in the St. Paul's, take all the bush and go with it.
Yeah.
The animals, nothing wrong with it.
And have people, when they are employed and clearing grass in the fields, put it on the trucks or whatever and dump it off in some place where animals can consume it. You know, if we really get this thing moving, there are great opportunities for this little island. We can transform this place overnight, really transform it overnight. Nonetheless, time is quickly catching up on us. So it's 423-7595 if you wish to call and make a contribution. We thank all of you who are on Facebook, and we ask you to please share the live. And those of you who are on Spice Capital Radio, WeFM, Vibes FM, we encourage you to continue, stay tuned, and spread the word. This is where the heartbeat gets to the ground to assist in bringing forth to the Grenadian public Grenadians who are making a difference and Grenadians who can make a difference in the whole transformation process that has been presented to the Grenadian people by the new Prime Minister Mitchell, the new Mitchell, transforming this country and moving this place forward. Brother Maxson, is there anything you wish to share with us as we get close to the end of the program? I think we just have about 6 or 8 minutes left.
Well, once the Lord permit my health and strength, I can promise you that what I speak about today, I can definitely bring it to reality. There is no doubt about that. I have all the confidence in the world of the Holy Spirit giving me that abilities and the enablement to continue doing the things. And so much so, I'm so happy to be the person or one of the persons who could make some changes. I'll be very happy to do that.
Absolutely. Let's just look at figures, dates, timelines. Do you think a serious agro-processing plant with your machines can be realized within 10 months?
I could give it 6 months.
Within
once,
6 months?
Once the place is available, I could give it 6 months and have, especially when I have a look at marketing board and the space in River Road. I mean, I see myself putting in 30 machines in 6 months' time.
Wow. So
different types of machine.
So it means that all our restaurants, bars, shops, hotels can have fresh quality juices and pulp.
Yeah, I talk about packaging, pulp, seasoning. Speaking about packaging, pulp, vegetables. Speaking about pulp, mangoes, golden apples, cassavas, the whole works, the whole 9 yards could take place. The idea is that not enough presently.
All
So
right.
over a 2-year period, the cultivation should be able to beef up
Right. Yeah.
in some of the areas
It takes time to grow these stuff.
and to prepare the land.
But
But the
surely
equipment,
once
it could be ready once the material available. The longest thing that for me is to design the blades, which I personally have to do because it's a really high-tech, as I said, do surgery on an ant's belly to get it done accurately. So I need to spend personal time on that.
Yeah.
And once that, I mean, the other guys, I could put guys to do the other parts that it's very simple for me. And by the time they're done, I install all the things, and this machine is ready to go.
Well, this is a challenge which you have extended, and I'm sure that the minister certainly has thought about it, and no doubt they ought to be great.
I like the challenge because I really like to spend time in those areas.
Yep, that's your passion. That's your passion indeed. By now, on the end of the year, there ought to be some celebration of ribbon cutting and so forth by the minister and yourself to present to Grenada some of the revolutionary and transformational ideas that the government has initiated or they have been speaking of. So I'm really happy that you are on board with this and that Grenada certainly is happy to embrace all that you present
Yeah, and I
and
must
to
say,
thank God for
yes.
the gifts that He has given you.
Yes, and I must say thanks to my draftsman, Oliver Francis, who do a wonderful joints for me on all the details so that that joints could easily pass on to the generation in the future.
Fantastic.
And it is like 1, 2, 3. Once they receive the joints, they could build those machines.
All right. Well, our congratulations to him also. Tell me, how do you see your machines processing, let's say, something as aloe vera?
Well,
plants?
all depends on the nature of what you want. If you're looking for a slush finish, yes. If you're looking for slices, then a different machine have to do that, and then that could take place.
Because it's a matter of taking off the skin and harvesting that white pulp in there.
Okay, that's a machine most likely have to do on a very slow base as a manual revolution on it. So you'll have to design a machine to actually hold that skin, pull and operate like a saw.
Right. Okay. Peel off the skin.
Yeah. So maybe I never developed one yet, but I can actually imagine the way that have to operate.
Yeah. Because do you know that in Aruba, there is a production line taking place where they produce over 10, 12 products just from aloes. And Aruba is a very dry place year round. And aloes don't need any kind of fertile soil to really get going. They don't need much attention at all. Once you put them in the soil, they just go. They grow. And for a little country in the Caribbean like Aruba, producing so many products, soaps, lotions, you name it. Aloes, it's used in the food and drink industry. It is used in the medicinal industry and in the cosmetic industry.
Yeah.
And it's a product that can really do a lot for us in the Caribbean.
Speaking, I put in the mind to work.
So we can grow those on the side of the road. Animals don't eat them. They will keep the grass down, and we have a massive industry going, exporting that pulp
I'll have to take
to the United States.
And manually handle it and see how it would perform. So maybe I could come with a machine to actually do that job, because most of the things I visualize it manually and then I bring it into motorized.
Yeah. Wow, this is fantastic. This can revolutionize the whole notion of exports and reducing unemployment in a massive, massive way indeed.
And that is one of my area. I really want to reduce unemployment in Grenada. I want to see everybody able to see after the family. I want to see young people able to take care of their children. I want to see they have a home. I want to see almost everybody who thinking about drugs, they have another way they can make an income. So there's opportunities there, and we could use it. And my passion is to get everybody in Grenada employed.
Yep.
It's deep inside, man.
And just with agribusinesses alone, just that a single one component can contribute in such a massive way in reducing unemployment, because with a factory you can operate 24/7. There's no closing down of the factory. Once you have produce, you can have several shifts moving right through from 8 in the morning right through to the next morning, just constantly going. And then we have our transportation sector sorted out, where people don't have challenges, at least not much, in getting to and from home. You know, there are a lot of things, there's a lot of excitement in the air now, and almost like a new beginning for Grenada. There's new excitement, renewed feeling of moving forward.
Yes.
This transformation is real, and you're part of it, and we thank you for it. Any other Grenadian, and I'm sending this invitation out, who wishes to be on this program to share their vision, to share what they are capable of doing in helping to reduce unemployment, to create opportunities for Grenadians, and to start really building a sector of manufacturing, please contact the Heartbeat, 423-7595, and be on the Heartbeat. Let me give you the last few moments for your last closing remarks.
Well, I must say thank you, Terry, for bringing me on this program. I'm really feeling happy about it. I feel the opportunity I've been looking for to do something for my country. I'm really, really excited in doing that. And I asked the Grenadian people to support that venture. And thanks to Mr. Jerry Hopkins for inviting me into everything that in developing that whole idea of getting that product out on the market. He's been behind me for the longest while to do something about it. And I must say praise on to him. And my draftsman, as I said, I mentioned him already. He's a great assistant to me. I can't leave him out in any way, because anything I have to do, he'll have to be part of it to help, get things done. It's not a one-man work at that level. And all the other people who can put a helping hand in getting that factory get going fast, I think they should come on board. And let's join and get it done, because it's something Grenada really, really, really need, especially at this stage where food is a problem.
Great. Well, I tell you, let me thank you so very much for being on Heartbeat, and let me thank Senator the Honorable Adrian Persuader Thomas for initiating this. And of course, you mentioned Brother Jerry Hopkins. We want to thank him for all that he has been doing with you on the international market, and to thank the entire Heartbeat team for making today's program another success. Thank you so very much. Until next week, we'll be back with the Heartbeat next Sunday. Have a good one.